Hey guys, in this video, I want to share with you the exact method I used to save an extra $30,000 in the last 6 months. Saving money seems like it's an easy thing to do, but if you don't have the right system or strategy in place, you're probably not going to get very far with it. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or you want to put a bit more money into some investments, follow along with the tips and strategies in this video. By following these strategies, I was able to pump heaps of money into my investments and also pay off a huge part of my mortgages as well. Towards the end of the video, I'll also share a few tips on how to cut back on some of your spending habits without seriously impacting your standard of living. So drop a like to support the channel and let's get into it. Before we get into saving, you really want to ask yourself, why do I want to start saving money? You might want to be a millionaire or a billionaire in the next 5 to 10 years, or you might just want to have enough to pay the bills and go on a holiday once a year. Whichever it is, you want to ask yourself where you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, or even 10 years from now. What sort of lifestyle do you want to live? What sort of things do you want to accomplish? And then ballpark a figure on how much money it's going to take you to get there. Once you have a goal, you have some direction on where you need to go. Asking yourself these questions really helps put your mind on the right track to start saving money. So what sort of lifestyle are you saving for? Let me know in the comments below. Creating a budget is one of the most important parts of saving money, and it doesn't have to be hard. If you want to start growing your money, you really need to know where you're starting from and track how you're doing. Start with a pen and paper and write out your monthly income from all sources. This includes your salary, any investments that pay you, or any business income or side hustles. Next, open up your online banking and write down what you spend in a month. These are your monthly expenses like rent, mortgage payments, any food bills, electricity costs, transportation costs like fuel or maintenance on your vehicle, any subscriptions that you have, any entertainment or clothing costs. We'll go deeper onto how to save a bit of money in these areas shortly. Now, some people really freak out with this part. It can be a bit scary to write down your actual expenses and to see where your money is going each month. It can be a lot easier to just hide away and pull the curtain back over your eyes. But I really encourage you, if you want to start saving money, this step really helps out. Once you've written down your income and expenses for the month, subtract your expenses from your income and see what's left over. Now, hopefully it's positive, but if it's not, don't worry. You're on the right track and you can start moving it back into the green. One of Grant Cardone's most powerful habits that got him to where he is today is keeping statistics on vitals. Anything that's important to you, keep track of it. Whether it be your money, your health, or anything else, you've got to keep track of it. This allows you to adjust and adapt if things aren't going quite the way you want them to. So make a habit of checking in on your budget at least once a week to see how you're doing. Now you know where you are, you can start to look at how much you can save on a regular basis. What do you want to save for? And how much do you want to put away each month to get there? It might be a house deposit, saving up some more money to put into investments, or just piling up cash until you know what to do with it. Whatever it is, work out how fast you want to get there. Do you want to put an extra $100 a month towards saving, $500 or even $1,000? If your income is higher, go higher. But don't be discouraged if you don't have a high income. Just start small and build up from there. I know heaps of people with an income well over $100,000 a year that can't seem to save very much. Now, one of the most effective strategies I learned for saving my money, I learned from the book, The Barefoot Investor. Now, the strategy goes like this. You can have multiple accounts for this, but let's just start with 2. I've got my main account, which is where all my income sources go in, from all sources. Everything goes into my one main account. Now from this account, I take 40% of that income straight out of that and put it into my investment accounts. Now, after I do that, I've got 60% left over. This is my daily expenses. So this is where my rent, my food bills, any entertainment, anything else, my car expenses, my fuel expenses, that all comes out of this 60%. So that 40% that comes out is fully protected. That goes into another account. You're not allowed to touch that. Okay? Most people should be able to live off 70% of their income, so that's a good place to start. Take 30% into your savings account and then live off 70. And then as you get more thrifty and in tune with your expenses, you can bump it up from there. For example, if you earn $1,200 a week after tax, that $1,200 goes into this main account, and then you're going to take 30% of that out, which is $360. You've then got $840 left over for your living expenses. So that's your rent, your food, all of those expenses come out of that main account. If you choose to use this method, I highly recommend setting up automatic withdrawals on the day that your pay comes in. So the day that that money comes into that main account, get it out of there. You can set up automatic withdrawals through online banking, and that keeps it out of sight and out of mind, and then you work with what's left. Most people spend what they get and then save what's left over, which isn't much. If you can do it the opposite way around, get your savings out of there, you're much less likely to spend it, and you'll see your savings start to grow. So set this one up, guys. It takes barely any effort and it will make a huge difference. Now, we're going to talk about a few different ways you can start saving money on your expenses each month, and maybe a way or two you can start making some more on your income each month. So there's really 6 different ways where you can make the biggest impact on your income and expenses, and these are your rent, your food, your transport, your clothing, your health, and your vices. So we'll dig right into those now. Let's talk about rent first. Now, one of the best ways to save money on rent, and I've done it myself, is to negotiate a better price with your landlord or property manager. If you're looking to save a few dollars a week off your rent, you can offer to pay a portion of your rent up front, or you can negotiate by extending your lease period. The other way to save a large portion of your rent each month is to get a housemate. If you've got a spare room and don't mind sharing the house with someone else, you can save a significant portion of your rent each month. I actually know some people that do this so well that they actually make money from living in a rental house. Food is the next one we need to talk about, and it's often the second biggest expense on the list. Now, before I started seriously saving, I used to eat out a lot. I mean like 3 times plus per week. And I'd spend about $20 each time I'd eat out because I eat a lot as well. I reduced this to once a week, and it saved me heaps of money per month. So if your expenses are showing that you're spending a lot of your money on eating out, try reducing it a bit. The second one for food is to shop smart when you're at the supermarket. Consider buying the store brand alternative instead of the fancy brand. They often have the same ingredients, and the store brand is often less than half the price. I also shop for fruit and vegetables that are in season. Seasonal fruit and veggies are often cheaper because they don't have to be shipped halfway around the world to get to the market. On to transport. If you're driving a car that is heavy on fuel consumption, consider downgrading to something a little more fuel efficient. And in the meantime, you can actually drive in a way that saves you money. By doing things like accelerating gently, maintaining a steady speed, anticipating traffic, and avoiding high speeds, you can actually make your fuel last longer, which will save you money on your next petrol stop. Just owning a car can cost you a lot of money as well in things like registration, insurance, maintenance, and on-road costs. If you don't use your car often, consider checking out a few public transport options. You might be surprised by the results. Or you may live in Townsville where there's nothing.
You get nothing!
Now with clothing, I recommend to unsubscribe from all marketing emails. If you're constantly being bombarded with half-price sales and pictures of nice clothing, you're likely to give in at some point. Spend 10 minutes of your time and get them out of your life. I got this tip from Nate O'Brien's video on saving, and it helped me save a ton. So a big thank you to him. Now, if you're really in a tight spot with money and want to save even more on clothing, I'd recommend checking out either Lifeline or the Salvation Army store. You can find recycled clothing here at great prices. Quick pro tip, go to the secondhand stores in wealthy suburbs. You'll find a lot more branded and high fashion clothing at ridiculously reduced prices. Some have never even been worn. Alright, health is an easy one, guys. It may not save you money right away, but you'll be way financially better off down the track if you look after your body. Getting some exercise and eating healthy can save you a ton of money on doctor's visits, medication bills, and hospital visits later in life. Okay, vices are things that we don't need in our life, but we do them anyway, and are mostly considered unhealthy habits. I'm talking things like cigarettes, alcohol, gambling, excessive spending, and even coffee. If you're not prepared to cut any of these things out of your life completely, try to find a cheaper alternative or just cut back by a small margin. For example, if you have coffee out most of the time, just try to make one at home every now and then. Or with cigarettes, try reducing your daily intake by 1 or 2 cigarettes a day. If you're spending a lot of money per month on any of these vices, just work out how much you'll be able to save if you cut them out of your life. Your body might even thank you, and your bank account definitely will. So if you're looking to save more of the money that you make, give these tips a go. They worked for me, and I was able to put a lot of that money into investments and travel. I've added sections to the video so you can go back easily and recap on any of the points. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Make sure to like the video if you learned something new and subscribe for more wealth-related content. And if you've got some friends or family that you think could benefit from some of the tips and strategies in this video, feel free to share it with them. Good luck with your savings goals, and I'll see you in the next video.